Well, it must not have been too bad last week because I'm back here today. So that's a good thing. Now, I won't be here the next 2 weeks because we got biker stuff going on. So it's not the fact that this joke doesn't go over. It's just the fact that I got other stuff to go on. There's 3 brothers. They were trying to outdo each other. Who has a brother? Always trying to outdo, show mom that I'm better than the other guy, right? Or gal. Never works out well. But they were buying mom's gifts on Mother's Day. They were buying her some gifts. And the one bought her a brand new house. And the next one comes up and says, oh yeah, well watch this. Bought mom a brand new sports car. Well, the third one didn't know how to top that, so he knows that he bought this parrot, and you say a scripture to the parrot, and the parrot recites the scripture. And so, mom being very religious, this is how it works. What a great thing. Well, the brothers are all together, and mom FaceTimes them. And she looks at the first one and says, you know it's just me. I don't need this great big house. And she looks at the second one and she goes, you know my eyesight and my memory isn't the greatest, so I sure don't need this sports car. And then she looks at the third one and says, son, that was the best chicken I have ever had. Okay, now. Angie, Mark 12, 41, 48. Now Jesus sat opposite the treasury and saw how the people put money into the treasury. And many who were rich put in much. Then only poor widows came and threw in Then one poor widow came in and threw in 2 mites, which makes a quadrant. So he called his disciples to himself and said to them, assuredly I say to you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who have given to the treasury. For they all put in out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put in all that she had, her whole livelihood. What I am seeing here, 2 things. For one, Jesus has great eyesight. If I'm sitting over here opposite of the treasury, there's no way I can see what you're putting in there. I can see you walking up there. I can see you drop something in. But he's seen 2 little pennies. So he has great eyesight. This poor widow had made Jesus excited. Excited enough to call his disciples and explain to them what he had just seen. Now, you don't call your friend up when you catch a small fish. You don't call your friends up and say, hey, I bought a new motorcycle, and it's a Honda. No, you don't. You call your friends up when you catch the big fish. You call your friends up when you bought that Harley. Jesus was excited not about the amount, but her heart. The other gave from abundance, meaning this out of their wealth. It didn't hurt them. They just gave. She, on the other hand, gave from the heart. She gave all. She put her faith into God. Jesus was excited about what she was going to receive. He knows what the law is, as we talked about in Malachi last week. You get the overflow. Let me explain tithing. The guys are asking me. What are you doing? Because I put a cutting board up here. Now, you never know what a biker has in his pocket. Now, this apple, sweet on the outside and not so much on the inside, the core. No one says, save the core for me, Clark. Everyone wants the heart, the meat of the apple. Now, this is how my God works. He takes what no one wants, he takes the seed. Now, he doesn't stop there. Jerry, do you have a knife? I don't have a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. This is a knife. I'm prepared. Boy Scout motto, always come prepared. Now, back to the apple. It worked. That's what I was talking about. You're either going to get a laugh or it will work. Now, back to this apple, this seed. Right here in the middle of it, the core, the piece that nobody wants. God takes that seed and he multiplies it. My heart's just beating because that actually worked. All right. This seed right here, it doesn't just produce an apple. It produces a tree. It produces multiple apples on top of each other. Not just once, ongoing, on and on and on. Proverbs 3, 9 through 10. Honor the Lord with your possessions and with the first fruits of all your increase, so that your barn will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. I don't know if anybody else heard there, but it said, and your barns will overflow with new Harleys. Now, did you know eating the seed could make you sick? Eating the seed could actually kill you. If you take this one seed and eat it, it's not going to hurt you. An apple seed has arsenic in it, a very small trace. If you take 180, 200 apple seeds and you grind them up and you eat them, then you're going to get sick. Then you're going to die. Now, if your wife happens to ask you, hey, babe, why don't you have a nice glass of apple seed tea? Not so much. You just might want to walk away. So, as for God and tithe, if you eat the seed or use it to buy motorcycle parts or something really important like that, like electric bills, groceries, gas for the car, whatever it may be, you may not come out so well like that glass of tea. Tithing is like salvation. Now, don't throw apples at me. Salvation's extremely important. Hear me out. Does God want you to do these things? Yes, he does. Is he going to force you to do either one? No, he won't. But with salvation, you have a choice, heaven or hell. Just that simple. Tithing, you have a choice, blessing or not. Cup running over or month at the end of the money. Let's make today the day that you chose to make a difference in your life and your family's life. Salvation, tithe, or both. It's not about the money to God. It's about the obedience. The obedience of giving back. As I said last week, just remember, 90% with my God is a lot better than 100% by myself. Thank you very much.